If the camera hadn't been rolling, nobody would have believed what happened. A father insisted the Pitbull had to go right away. A mother refused and proposed one last experiment. They turned on a camera for only 10 minutes, and what it recorded changed their lives forever. The baby was weeping. The Pitbull was watching. And when the blanket fell over her face, everything became obvious. Before you continue, remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss another touching story like this one, and write in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is there. The morning started with arguing once more. "I've had enough, Sophia." James slammed his hand on the kitchen counter, causing the coffee mug to shake. "That dog is going. I've already contacted the shelter. They're coming to get him today. I don't care how you feel. He's dangerous." Sophia pulled baby Olivia tighter, who was whimpering in her embrace, wrapped in a gentle yellow blanket. The baby's face twisted up, flushed from crying, feeling the tension in the air. Sophia's chest rose and fell as she tried to keep her voice calm. "You're not taking him anywhere. He hasn't hurt anybody, James." "He hasn't hurt anybody yet," James shouted back, his face turning red. He pointed at the gray and white Pitbull sitting in the corner of the family room. His powerful body was completely still, his dark eyes fixed on the crying baby. "Look at Titan, positioned there like a hunter, watching her every time she cries. Those teeth, Sophia, those teeth could break her in two. One mistake, one bad moment, and she's dead. Do you want to take that chance?" "I certainly don't." Sophia shook her head, her jaw tightening. "You're wrong about this. He's not trying to hurt her. He's protecting her. He knows she's fragile. He knows she needs him." James let out a bitter laugh. "He's a Pitbull, Sophia. A rescue Pitbull. We don't even know his history before we brought him home. Look at those scars on his body. He's been through fights. He's been trained to hurt." Titan lifted his head when James's voice grew louder. His ears rose. He didn't move closer. He didn't even flinch. But his eyes stayed locked on the baby, tracking every movement, every sound she made. Sophia felt her throat tighten. Her instincts were telling her something. And even though she couldn't put it into words, she knew James was wrong. "If you're so sure, then prove it," she shot back, her voice sharp. James's eyes widened. "What are you suggesting?" "Prove it," she repeated, standing up and holding baby Olivia close. "Leave them alone. 10 minutes. Just the dog and her in the family room, with the camera running. If he's as dangerous as you say, you'll have proof. And if you're wrong, you admit it. No more talk about the shelter." James's mouth curled into a hard smile. "Fine. 10 minutes. And when that animal proves I'm right, you'll regret defending him." Sophia swallowed hard. Fear churned in her stomach, but she forced herself to look brave. "You'll be the one with regrets," she answered firmly. A short while later, the baby lay on a padded playmat in the middle of the family room, still crying, her small face red and streaked with tears. The tiny camera on the bookshelf blinked its red light, recording everything. Titan lay a few feet away, his sturdy body stretched out on the rug, his chest rising and falling in a steady rhythm, his dark eyes sharp and unwavering, fixed on the baby. James stood by the doorway, his arms crossed tightly over his chest, his jaw clenched so hard it ached. "This is insane," he muttered. "You're putting her in danger." "Be quiet," Sophia said firmly, her voice trembling. "If you're so certain, then we'll see." She stopped talking. He made a frustrated sound, then turned and walked out after her, closing the door hard. They went into the kitchen, the phone lying between them on the counter, showing the live feed from the camera. On the screen, their daughter was crying harder now, her tiny fists punching the air, her legs kicking against the mat. Titan slowly sat up, his ears lifting, his body tensing. James's face twisted with disgust. There, look at him staring like that. Look at his posture. He's getting ready to attack. Sophia leaned closer to the phone, her palms sweating. He's watching, not attacking. It's completely different. The baby's crying grew louder, more desperate. Titan moved closer, his large paws pressing across the floor with careful, deliberate steps. His nose reached toward her blanket, sniffing gently. Sophia held her breath. James whispered, his hand reaching for his phone. It's happening. I told you. I'm calling. Wait, Sophia said, her voice barely audible. But then Titan did something they hadn't expected. He moved to the side, placing his body between the baby and the corner of the coffee table. His frame lowered to the floor, his powerful body forming a protective wall. What is he doing? James asked, his brow furrowing. Sophia's hand flew to her mouth. He's shielding her. James shook his head firmly. That's ridiculous. Pitbulls don't protect like that. He's... And then, on the recording, something happened. The baby's crying suddenly turned sharper, more frantic. She was flailing now, her small arms swinging through the air. And as she flailed, the soft yellow blanket beside her shifted and fell right over her face. Her nose, her mouth, completely covered. The baby's cries changed instantly. They became muffled, panicked, trapped beneath the fabric. Her tiny hands clawed at the blanket, but her fingers were too small, too weak. She couldn't grip it, couldn't pull it away. James's face drained of color. Oh God, Sophia. She can't breathe. Watch Titan, Sophia said quietly. On the screen, Titan's entire body went rigid. His ears flattened against his head. His eyes locked onto the baby's covered face with fierce focus. Every muscle in his body tightened. James gripped the counter. He's going to attack. I was right. Wait, Sophia said, her voice shaking. Just wait. Titan rose in one smooth, powerful motion. His body moved with purpose, with speed. He crossed to the mat in 2 quick strides, heading straight for the baby. James reached for his phone. I'm stopping this. But Sophia grabbed his arm. Watch, she whispered. Just watch him. Titan lowered his broad head over the baby. His muzzle, those powerful teeth James had feared for weeks, moved toward Olivia's covered face. And then, with a gentleness that seemed almost impossible, Titan closed his mouth around the very edge of the yellow blanket. James's jaw fell open. Titan pulled slowly, carefully. His massive teeth worked with perfect, delicate precision. The blanket slid off Olivia's face like silk. There she was, red-faced, tear-soaked, gasping for air. Her mouth opened wide, drawing in a deep breath. Her crying eased immediately. Sophia's hand covered her mouth, tears streaming down her face. He knew. He knew she couldn't breathe. Titan let go of the blanket and settled his body down beside Olivia, curling his sturdy frame around her like a protective wall. He rested his head on the mat next to her, his dark eyes watching her face. The baby's cries softened into gentle whimpers. Her small hand reached out, curling into his fur. He didn't move, didn't react, just watched her, his breathing calm and steady, as if telling her, "You're safe now." Olivia's fingers gripped his fur tighter. Her crying stopped completely. Her eyes grew heavy. She nestled against his warm side as though he were the safest, most comforting place in the world. Because to her, he was. "Do you see now, James?" Sophia's voice cracked, breaking through the silence. "Do you finally see what he's been doing?" James said nothing. His face had gone pale, his lips pressed tight, his eyes glued to the screen. They both understood what could have happened. A baby that small, unable to move a blanket off her face, could stop breathing within minutes. And Titan, this dog James had been ready to give away, this dog he had called dangerous, had saved her. On the recording, Olivia stirred slightly, her small hand still tangled in Titan's fur. He turned his head gently toward her, his eyes softening, and let out a quiet breath, as if reassuring her she was safe now. Sophia's tears fell freely. He knew, she said softly. This whole time he knew something could happen to her. That's why he stayed so close. That's why he never took his eyes off her. James dragged his hand over his face, his body shaking. He couldn't speak. For weeks, he had called this dog a threat, a tragedy waiting to happen. He had already called the shelter, filled out the paperwork, been ready to give him away. And now, watching the footage, he understood the truth. Without Titan, their daughter might not have made it. When the alert on the phone finally went off, Sophia rushed into the family room, James stumbling behind her, his legs barely holding him up. She dropped to her knees, gathering Olivia into her arms. The baby was calm now, resting peacefully, her breathing soft and even. Titan slowly stood, his tail wagging gently, his scarred body moving toward them. Sophia stroked his fur with her free hand, her voice breaking. "Good boy. You saved her. You saved our daughter." James stood frozen in the doorway, unable to move, his pride shattered, his anger completely gone. All that remained was regret. Heavy, crushing regret. Titan walked toward James, his dark eyes looking up at him. No anger, no resentment, just quiet calm. James's voice finally broke the silence, soft and unsure. "I was wrong." Sophia looked up, her eyes wet, but she didn't gloat. "You almost took away the only thing protecting her." James exhaled shakily, his body trembling. He knelt down slowly, his hand shaking as he rested it on Titan's broad head. The dog leaned into his touch, forgiving instantly. "You're staying," James said quietly, his voice cracking. "Always. I'm so sorry." Tears rolled down his face. He pulled out his phone and, right there in front of Sophia, deleted the shelter's number from his recent calls. Olivia clapped her tiny hands weakly, as if approving the decision herself. Titan nudged James's hand once, then walked over to the nursery doorway and lay down. His eyes half closed, his ears still alert. He wasn't resting because he was tired. He was resting because his job was done. And from that day forward, no one in that house ever questioned who the real protector was. Did you like this story? Do you believe pit bulls can be trusted around kids? Yes or no, share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to this channel and give us a like. Thank you so much for watching.